Hi, I'm Peter Quilty. We've instigated a new series for Caravan World, interviewing industry heavyweights on issues, trends and innovations in the RV industry.
Morning Peter, welcome to
Hello,
Alco.
Peter. I'm here with Peter Mannfolk, Managing Director of Alco Australia New Zealand, which is a leader in the manufacture of chassis and running gear for the RV market. You're a commercial lawyer by profession. Could you take us through the pathway into the caravan manufacturing industry?
Sure, well, my family's had a long association with Alco and my father was the Managing Director of the company before me. As a young student, both at high school and university, I spent a lot of time in and around the business. That was doing marketing mail-outs, doing work on the factory floor. I was fortunate enough to spend some time working at head office in Germany as well while I was studying. And when the Kober family approached me to ask if I had any interest in joining the company, it was an opportunity too good to refuse, so I jumped at it.
I can imagine you having a hectic work schedule. What are your hobbies and passions?
My hobbies and passions are around spending time with my family at the moment. I'm a very proud father, 2 young children, a young daughter of 2 and a son of 6 months. So I just like getting out and enjoying the outdoors with them, getting to the beach when I can, and just making the most of time with family.
The caravan manufacturing industry is constantly evolving. What do you see as the seismic shifts since you've been involved, Peter?
I think the big shift is the pace of innovation. I think consumers more than ever are well informed and well researched about what they want and what they want to see in caravans. And the manufacturers are more than ever in close contact with suppliers like us, feeding that back. So we are really focused on local research and development of products to meet those changing needs and launching more new products than ever to meet the demand in the market.
How has your business adapted to that change?
As a market-leading supplier, we see our role to be interacting with the market, understanding what the market's telling us and responding quickly to bring products into the market that meet those needs.
Can you give us an example of how Alco has made those adaptations?
Absolutely. So if I look back a couple of years, we saw the trend towards the trailing arm suspension system and we knew that we needed to be in that market segment. So in late 2015 we launched our first trailing arm suspension, which was the Enduro Outback, a full off-road rugged suspension for outback conditions. As we received feedback from the market, there was a demand for a lighter version, a rough road version of the suspension. So we then launched our Enduro Cross Country. And then very recently we launched the final instalment in that series of suspensions, the Enduro Touring, which now brings the comfort and the ride quality of independent suspension to the on-road caravan market.
What do you see as the biggest influence on the caravan manufacturing industry currently?
I see the biggest influence being the conversation between the end user and the manufacturers, which particularly with social media is now more than ever a dialogue. So the rate of change and the rate of innovation is speeding up, and I think that's good for the industry and it's good for the consumer because it means we as a supplier to the manufacturers and the manufacturers are looking more and more for how to meet the needs of the end user, which helps to grow the industry, which is ultimately good for everyone involved.
As we know, the consumer is always right. How have buyers changed over the years?
I think buyers have become better informed than ever. They do their research, they come to caravan shows or they go to caravan dealers, understanding the market, understanding what options are available, and very prepared to talk to the manufacturers and seek out those options for themselves. I think also buyers more and more see themselves as consumer advocates and are prepared to be involved on social media or be involved in providing feedback about their experiences, and ultimately that's a big shift not just in the caravan industry but in all industries and all sectors.
How are buyers influencing manufacturing? Are they more influential than ever?
I think they are definitely more influential than ever. One market segment that we see growing strongly is younger buyers entering the caravan industry, and in particular young families. And their needs are quite different than maybe the more traditional market. They tend to look for lighter caravans because they have constraints around tow vehicles and tow vehicle capacities, and they're more engaged with technology, so looking for connectivity, the ability to remain connected no matter where they are, even off-road adventuring throughout Australia.
Could you provide an example of that?
Yeah, absolutely. So a product that we have is the Antitheft system. And so the anti-theft system is a device that's designed to enable people to secure their caravans, set up a geofence and ensure the caravan's not moved from its usual location. But we're finding more and more that people use the GPS technology also to track their trip, inform relatives and friends of where they are, and look back over their journey and see the progress they made travelling around Australia.
There's a general positivity in the industry. Do you still think it's as buoyant as ever?
I think the industry is as buoyant as ever, but the industry is changing, as you've mentioned, and I think the key to success in the industry is innovation and being able to read market trends and meet consumer demands, which are more than ever changing and evolving quickly, and we and everyone in the industry need to be in front of that wave.
Alco's motto is quality for life. How do you put that into sheer reality?
Sure. Well, our motto is quality for life, and you've been through the factory here and seen what we do. We hold ourselves to the highest standard, and we see ourselves as a market leader playing a role in setting the standards for the industry. We have a motto as well, which is that we carry what matters, and we think that's incredibly important because people are entrusting our equipment with their leisure time, with their holidays, with their treasured memories, with their family. So everything we do is focused around quality, and we have devoted a lot of time and a lot of resources over many years to safety technology and to innovations in that field.
Yes, you're definitely renowned for being safety conscious. What are the safety measures that you put into place?
A major product for us is obviously the ESC, the Electronic Stability Control System. This was the world's first stability control system for caravans with electric brakes, and that technology is now accepted by or adopted by somewhere around 60% of new caravans in Australia, which we think is fantastic because it's making the industry safer, it's making our roads safer, and we see that technology and that segment is growing more and more in the future.
If you could gaze into the proverbial crystal ball, what do you see ahead for the industry? What will the future be in 5, say 10, 20 years, and will it be largely technology driven?
Absolutely. I think the future of the industry is technology driven, and it's driven by innovation, by research, and by development of new products to meet changing consumer demands. I think more and more we'll see a focus on safety in caravanning, and we're working on safety products and safety innovations to continue to lead that field. I also believe the future for our product range is lighter and stronger. So in other words, offering the manufacturers flexibility by reducing the weight of the axle system or chassis system that they're using to build their caravan, and giving them more payload, and also the ability to build lighter products which are attractive to, for example, young families who tend to have smaller tow vehicles and for whom the ability to tow a lighter caravan is very important.
It's a complex industry at the best of times. What do you see as some likely issues that may arise as we move towards 2020 and beyond?
Sure. We're part of a global business, and we do see trends around the world. Something that we have seen in other markets in North America and in Europe is consolidation. So manufacturers merging or being purchased by larger groups, and the Australian manufacturing sector in caravanning is quite fragmented. There's a large number of manufacturers, so I could see that as a trend into the future. We also see the local industry as more and more competing in a global marketplace, and we see it as absolutely crucial that the local manufacturing sector is globally competitive, both from a quality perspective and a price perspective. And as a global business, but as a local supplier to industry, we feel very much that it is a key part of our role to provide world-class products at globally competitive prices to ensure the industry does remain competitive on a global scale.